Some luxury cars get older and look older, but a few, they age like fine wine, sharper, cleaner, more iconic every single year. Today, we're looking at 10 luxury cars that age better than the new models replacing them. Let's begin. You ever notice how some luxury cars just refuse to look old? This one is the perfect example. It pulls up beside newer cars and somehow still looks more confident, more expensive, and way more refined. The shape is clean, the lines are elegant, and it has that quiet luxury energy that never goes out of style. Nothing flashy, nothing trying too hard, just pure, timeless presence. Inside, it's the same story. The cabin feels solid, mature, and incredibly well built. The leather still sits tight, the wood trim still shines, and every button clicks like it was designed by someone obsessed with perfection. Even the doors shut with that heavy, satisfying sound that instantly tells you, yep, this is real luxury. And when it starts moving, bro, the smoothness hits different. The ride feels like the road was ironed flat just for you. No rattles, no aging noises, no drama, just calm, powerful motion. That's why this thing ages better than many new models. You don't feel outdated driving it. You feel classy. New cars try to look futuristic, but this one doesn't need all that. It aged into its style like fine wine, confident, mature, and beautifully balanced. That's what makes it special. It didn't get old, it leveled up. Some cars don't just age well, they get sharper with time. And this one, it still has that perfect mix of class and attitude that newer sedans can't copy. You see it rolling down the road and immediately think, yep, that still looks expensive. The proportions are spot on. The body lines are clean, and that signature BMW stance hasn't aged a single day. It's the kind of design that makes you look twice, not because it's flashy, but because it's effortlessly stylish. Once you sit inside, the feeling gets even stronger. The cabin has this simple, driver-focused layout that feels more premium today than some of the screens-on-screens modern interiors. The leather stays tight, the dashboard stays solid, and every control feels crafted, not cheapened by trends. Even after all these years, nothing inside rattles, nothing feels loose, and nothing gives off that used car fatigue. It's still tight, still polished, still BMW. Then you start moving, and the driving feel is what really shows how well this car aged. The steering is precise, the balance is clean, and the whole car reacts like it's still fresh. No floating, no wobbling, no tired suspension vibes. It just grips, turns, and glides with that signature BMW smoothness. Even the engine, whether you're cruising or pushing a little harder, delivers power in this quiet, confident way that makes you forget how old the car actually is. You know how some cars start feeling soft and worn out after a few years? This one does the opposite. It stays sharp, it stays disciplined, it stays luxury. And that's the magic. It still feels like a modern executive car without trying to look futuristic or overloaded with tech. It aged into elegance, not out of relevance. This sedan doesn't scream for attention, it earns it. And that's why it's one of those rare luxury cars that doesn't get old, it just gets better. Some luxury cars fade with time, but this one does the exact opposite. The moment it appears on the road, it still gives off that clean, modern, business class energy. The design is simple but sharp, the proportions are perfect, and the whole car has this quiet confidence that never went out of style. It's not shouting for attention, it's commanding it with pure elegance. When you step inside, the feeling is almost surprising. The interior still looks like it belongs in a much newer model. Everything is solid, tight, and beautifully finished. The leather doesn't look tired, the trim doesn't look dated, and the cabin layout feels timeless. Audi has always been the king of interior design, and this generation is proof. The cabin feels like it was built for someone who appreciates luxury but hates anything unnecessary. No cheap plastics, no rattling panels, no fading buttons. Just a clean, premium environment that still feels fresh years later. And then there's the driving experience, which is where this car truly refuses to age. The 3.0T engine is smooth, responsive, and ridiculously refined. You press the pedal, and the car glides forward with this effortless power that newer four-cylinders just cannot match. The suspension stays calm, the steering stays precise, and the entire car moves with this controlled confidence that makes you forget you're driving something over a decade old. It still feels tight, planted, and in control. No softness, no wobble, no old luxury car attitude. The A6 ages with class, never looking outdated, never feeling old, and never losing its premium touch. It's one of those rare cars that holds onto its elegance and driving feel long after newer models try too hard to reinvent themselves. Some cars grow old, this one grows iconic. Some luxury cars try to look modern. This one doesn't have to. The moment it appears, it gives off that quiet, executive power that never goes out of style. It doesn't scream for attention. It calmly tells the world, "I'm still the boss here." The shape is smooth and dignified. The stance is confident, and the whole car carries itself like a CEO who doesn't need to prove anything. This is the kind of elegance that doesn't age. It matures. And once you step inside, you instantly understand why people say this car feels more expensive now than when it was new. The cabin is pure craftsmanship. The leather is thick and soft, the wood trim looks hand-finished, and all the switches and buttons feel engineered instead of mass-produced. Nothing inside feels dated, just premium and purposeful. Even after all these years, the interior stays tight, calm, and beautifully put together. No squeaks, no rattles, no old luxury fatigue, just a clean, silent space that immediately relaxes you. Then you start moving, and the LS shows why it ages better than half the modern luxury sedans out there. The ride is insanely smooth, like the road was designed specifically for this car. Bumps disappear, wind noise barely exists, and the engine whispers instead of growls. It moves with this heavy, controlled grace that newer cars with complicated tech can't replicate. Everything feels precise, solid, and unbothered. Like the car is telling you, "Don't worry, I've done this a million times." And the best part? The LS doesn't chase trends. It doesn't need giant touchscreens or wild styling to feel premium. Its luxury comes from build quality, refinement, and engineering that were simply overkill for its time. Some SUVs age quietly. And then there's this one, the kind that still turns heads even when parked next to brand new models. It has that bold, sculpted, almost athletic look that refuses to get old. The long hood, the aggressive front, the wide stance. Everything about it feels dramatic in the best possible way. You see it on the road and instantly think, that still looks incredible. The design was ahead of its time, and now it looks even better. When you step inside, that feeling continues. The interior wraps around you like a sports cockpit, mixed with luxury lounge vibes. The leather is thick and well-stitched. The center console feels purposeful, and the whole cabin still has this modern, high-end atmosphere. Nothing about it feels tired or outdated. The materials age slowly. The layout still looks stylish, and even the steering wheel feels like it belongs in something newer. The cabin remains tight and quiet, with that signature infinity mix of sportiness and comfort. Then you hit the road, and the QX70 shows why it ages better than many luxury SUVs. The steering is sharp, the suspension is tuned tight, and the whole SUV feels surprisingly athletic for its size. It doesn't lumber around like an old luxury truck. It moves with confidence and precision. The V6 engine delivers smooth, steady power, and the car responds instantly, like it hasn't lost a step. Even after years of use, the chassis still feels solid. The handling still feels controlled, and the driving experience stays exciting. This SUV doesn't get old. It stays alive, and that's what makes it special. It's stylish without trying too hard, sporty without being uncomfortable, and luxurious without feeling fragile. Most SUVs get softer and more forgettable with time. This one becomes more iconic. The QX70 didn't age like a normal car, it aged like a statement. And that's why it still stands out today, looking bold, feeling tight, and driving like it's not done impressing yet. Some SUVs age. This one evolves. The moment it appears, it still has that royal presence that newer models try so hard to copy. The shape is clean and commanding, the lines are bold but elegant, and the whole vehicle carries itself like a luxury mansion on wheels. It doesn't just look expensive, it feels expensive, even from across the street. That strong, squared-off design aged beautifully, giving it a timeless look that many modern SUVs can't match. And when you step inside, the atmosphere hits immediately. The cabin feels like a luxury lounge, soft leather everywhere, thick carpets under your feet, and a design that's classy without being loud. Even after years of use, the materials stay impressive. The seats remain plush, the trim stays refined, and everything feels intentionally crafted. Nothing inside gives off that old luxury car vibe. It stays fresh, elegant, and welcoming. And then comes the drive, which is where the Vogue truly refuses to age. On the road, it moves like it's floating. The suspension smooths out bumps so cleanly that it feels like you're gliding through air instead of driving on pavement. Some cars don't just age well, they age beautifully. And this one is the perfect example. The moment it comes into view, it still looks like a concept car that somehow made it onto the streets. The long, sleek roofline, the wide stance, the sculpted sides, everything about it feels dramatic and artistic. This is the car that created the four-door coupe trend, and even today, newer cars can't match its elegance. It's the kind of design that doesn't follow time, it ignores it. Inside, the same story continues. The cabin feels rich and mature, with thick leather, polished trim, and a layout that still looks premium. It has that classic Mercedes atmosphere, where everything feels solid, carefully placed, and built for comfort. No cheap rattles, no faded pieces, no tech that feels ancient. The interior aged like a luxury hotel suite, timeless, warm, and deeply comfortable. And once you start driving, the CLS 550 shows why it holds its value in style and presence. The V8 delivers smooth, confident power that makes the car feel alive without being aggressive. The steering is sharp, the suspension is balanced, and the whole car moves with this graceful force that newer turbo engines just can't imitate. Even with years on it, the ride stays refined, the body stays tight, and the driving feel stays premium. It's one of those rare cars that still gives you that special moment every time you get behind the wheel.